What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist, and today we're back talking about the disciplines of the psychic abilities of Warhammer 40K. So yesterday, I recommend you guys check out that video because I give you a generic overview as to what these warp powers, these abilities, this magic, their sorcery kinda is, where it stems from, the warp, and we talked about two disciplines, the first being Pyromancy, and I believe it was telepathy for the other one. Now today we are shifting gears and we're going to be learning about the psychic discipline that centers around Tzeentch. So of course you're going to be exposed to a whole bunch of change, and that's what Tzeentch is all about. He tempts fate, he has a whole bunch of schemes and plans, and at the end of the day, you guys can spare some change. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into these 40 facts on the discipline of Tzeentch. Those who dabble with the stuff of change often seek to master the psychic essence empowering Tzeentch himself. Such individuals skirt to the edge of sanity as they wield the forces of madness and mutations, blessing both their allies and themselves, or cursing their foes to death. Tzeentch has immense power to those who will win his favor with such displays, but it always comes at a great cost. One such example of this was the Rubric of Ahriman. So this rubric was a spell cast by the Thousand Suns sorcerer Ahriman after he had to escape into the Eye of Terror. He was so appalled at the mutations he saw among his battle brothers that he vowed to stop them. Unfortunately, he only succeeded in destroying the bodies of his brothers, and he sealed their souls away within their own armor. Only thanks to the intervention of Magnus the Red was it enough to stop the spell from completely destroying the Thousand Suns Legion. Now when it comes to the discipline of Tzeentch, of course the Thousand Suns are up there. They're the poster child for Tzeentch, and so much so that they are a very psychically adept army. Back in 30K, the Thousand Suns were split into different cults, each cult specializing in a certain aspect of psychic abilities. I believe we've covered a few of them. I'll try to link that at the end of the video. Or you know what? I'll do you better. I will make a playlist talking about psychic powers, psychic abilities, not just for Thousand Suns, but for every 40K race. So I will link that at the end of this video so you guys can go ahead and check out our older videos, as well as I will be putting the psychic discipline videos into that playlist as well. And since we're talking about Thousand Suns and their warp abilities, let's talk about one of their most powerful spells, the Storm of Change. So the Storm of Change is an incredibly powerful psychic attack that was performed by a group of chaos sorcerers. Now, it is devastating to the enemy, so much so that it often results in the complete draining of psychic energy from the casting sorcerer. So basically it makes a maelstrom of just psychic wind, lightning that can utterly demolish the enemy, but usually it leaves the sorcerer in a very weakened state, so you better hope that this Storm of Change will kill off all your enemies. Another warp attack is known as the Bolt of Change. This Tzeentchian power allows the sorcerer to hurl a bolt of searing energy formed from the raw immaterium, which tends to cause rapid mutation, often melting the flesh and vaporizing metal from the enemy, be it vehicle or armored warrior. Oftentimes, when a warrior of Tzeentch has proved himself, a sorcerer might use the boon of mutation upon him. This is when the psyker lays his hands upon this warrior, channeling the power of chaos into him until his flesh begins to mutate, enhancing him by the chaotic powers of the warp. Now this is a very random ability that can either make this warrior of glory into a spawn or become a very, very powerful demon. When it comes to Tzeentch, there are a lot of powers that deal with pyromancy, meaning flamecraft. You've got the flickering fire of Tzeentch, you've got Tzeentch's firestorm, you've got pink lightning, which is like pink fire that comes out, and basically this just means that the enemy is either gonna spontaneously combust or burn in a searing wall of demonic flame. So most abilities that have to do with warp and psychic stuff, there's usually a fire aspect to it. One of my favorite warp abilities is called the Twisting Path. This is when the sorcerer reaches into his enemy's mind, causing an unsettling waking dream in which they tend to ally themselves with dark powers. During this time, the enemy is temporarily stunned, and then the sorcerer is now able to retrieve information from their mind, or either implant post-hypnotic suggestions in order to control them, or even just go as far as to alter their memories of who they are. A very powerful spell, and it literally embodies Tzeentch perfectly, because you are now in control of your enemy, causing him to change into whatever you want him to be or want him to do. Now, if you are very, very lucky, Tzeentch himself may even bless you with one of these three awesome powers. The first being Withering Gaze. This is a spell that causes the sorcerer's eyes to burn with a tiny fragment of Tzeentch's own baleful gaze, causing the enemy to look away in utter terror. This is good because it gives you time to kind of cast your own spells, and it'll make you look super intimidating. On top of this, you can also be gifted with the Weaves of Fate. This is when the sorcerer gains insight from the Master of Deceit himself, allowing for superior planning for attacks. Basically, you get to peer into the future. And lastly, we have the Reckoning of Zeke. Receiving the utmost blessings of Tzeentch, this sorcerer is allowed to find out different paths of fate, of destiny, to better guide the sorcerer into what actions he needs to take. Basically a souped up version of the Weaves of Fate, giving you insight to what the enemy's going to do before they even know it. And with that being said, this concludes our insight into the Changer of Ways' psychic discipline. If you guys like Tzeentch and you're really into being a powerful sorcerer, I greatly recommend you guys check out the Thousand Sons. They are a very powerful army that can literally spam the board with sorcerers. They're basically the antithesis, that's a huge word right there for me, the antithesis to the Grey Knights, where the Grey Knights are really powerful at psychic attacks, fighting demons and whatnot. The Thousand Sons are essentially their counter for playing Chaos. Now, in my opinion, their red and white and gold color scheme from 30K looks a lot better than their blue and yellow from 40K, but it's up to you how you want to play them. Really great, awesome abilities. Of course, Smite, you'll be able to spam it in your army if you play Thousand Sons. So it's a really great army to check out, and really fun to play on the battlefield. Now, if you guys want more psychic disciplines, lore coming your way, you've got it. Tomorrow I will be covering, I believe I will be going into Geomancy and Fulmination, but I'm not 100% sure yet. So let me know in the comments what you guys want me to talk about in the ensuing psychic discipline lores. And yeah, stay tuned because we got more 40K lore coming your way. This has been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.